I go. I go. That don't mean you turn back around and say I may continue talking. I go. How everybody doing today? Why are we babies? Who's Jumbo? There's our Black History Month program. We start with the drum call.
Let's do that and sound like the Alkebu-lan village. Hujambo. Ooh, Haligani. Wow, we have some real Africans here. Once again, it is my pleasure to be in the Alkebu-lan village. It's a place where, as you know, we keep an African-centered attitude. And we define African-centered to mean embracing the rich history, culture, and tradition of the motherland, Africa. One of those traditions are giving our respect and ancestors. Now believe me when I say, because Africans are the first people. We're first in everything. The first doctors, the first astrophysicists, the first architects, the first hunters, the first karate. We are all of that. Every society has a tradition of giving respect to the ancestors. Here, nations, we want to call upon the spirit of the ancestors to be here with us. We want to honor them and we want to remember them. Now the way we do that in terms, we can recite the names of people we know to be ancestors. And when I use the term Ashe, which is from the Yoruba language, which means make it so, then you repeat Ashe one time. Let's suppose I say Marcus Garvey. Ashe? Ashe. Okay, but I want you to say it with a thunder, because remember, we're calling the ancestors on to us. Now, I want to talk about the ancestors we all know about. The ancestors whose pictures you see on the walls in the Alkebu-lan village, the ancestors who Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, all of those people who led the way for us in contemporary times. In other words, in modern times. We want to talk about Nat Turner. We want to talk about that you know something about. We want to call them to us, and I will say Ashe. Ashe. Also, we want to talk about our ancient ancestors, the ancient kings and queens. Many years ago, a group line in the poem was, before we were sold as slaves, black people lived in temples and the devil lived in caves. So we want to talk about our ancient ancestors, those kings and queens of Egypt, those pharaohs who set trends. We want to talk about Ramses the Great. We want to talk about Khufu, who built the first Akhenaten. Akhenaten invented the concept of one God. We want to talk about Nefertiti, the Egyptian queen. We want to talk about the Egyptian warriors, the Egyptian Amen, King Tut, the golden pharaoh. Now say Ashe. Ashe. Now, we want to talk about our relatives. I've said it before on numerous occasions, but wait, let's not forget. One of my favorite was ancient Pianki, who in 627 BC, this Ethiopian, Nubian king took the Egyptian throne, and he was the last African pharaoh. And we have our own Pianki back there in that yellow jacket, one who does so much around here. I say Ashe. Now, we want to talk about our relatives. I've always said, know who your relatives are. Some of you guys out there ain't got no daddy. Okay? Know who that man is or was. Okay? And I tell the story often. My mama was my daddy. But I do know my dad's name. I know his family. My relatives are very good to me. So I want you to have in mind your grandparents. Know your grandmother. Know your grandfather. Know where they came from. Know what they had to endure to get you here. Now, if you know their names, you can say their names now. Or say the names of any of your family members or friends who are ancestors, any of them.
John Frierson.
Daisy Cofield. Joseph, Lucille Bird. Don't let me say all the names. Some of you have grandparents who have passed on.
Valina Frierson. Herschel Frierson.
Are there any others? I know there's got to be some others. I'd like to add that in order to be an ancestor, you don't have to be old. You don't have to be an elder. Now, the greater metropolitan Detroit area recently lost a young man. We've been grieving for him, and he has become one of our noted ancestors who did a lot of good in the neighborhood, and I know that his power and his force and his spirit is here with us now. And I'm talking about Baba Yale. Maybe you've seen the posters. And for all of our ancestors, do you have any more? Are you over there talking about ancestors, or are you just talking? Okay, you need to stop that. Okay? In the spirit of our ancestors, I say Ashe. Ashe! Now, one thing about the ancestors, as to pull away from us and begin to leave us, and we can feel that force, we can feel that energy, we can feel their spirits as they fade, and we know that they have the power and the authority to take any one of us right now with them and make us thankfully requesting that they not take any of us away. Because we all know that one day, and it may be sooner than you think, one day we will all be ancestors. One day, someone will be calling us to the gathering. Say Ashe. Asante Sana.
Get him go over here. Everybody rise. Black nationality. Sisters, crossover, brothers. Does anybody here know how to sing? Can I please get a volunteer? Okay, all right. On the count of tattoo. Hands out your pockets, brother. Moja and Billy, tattoo. Lift every voice and sing till earth and ring. Keep them fists up high, brothers up high. Up high. Let I rejoice in rise high as the listening skies. Let us resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song like the faith that the darkness has lost. Sing a song full of hope and the presence and God. Facing the rising sun, what a new day begun. Keep something there, keep something there. All right, next up we will have the Iwanzo class with Mama Joyce and Mama Doris.
I number 1, Logan. Snowy Commander is the highest mountain in Africa. I number 2, Emily. Welcome. A jumping jack is played by villages, young and old. I number 4, Mother usually carries their babies while they're walking. I'm number 6, Sita. The clothing eats after the Congo, the sushi, like a cousin, and then the shiki.
The Nile River, which goes between Uganda and Egypt, is full of fish. Farmers grow coffee trees, all different parts of East Africa.
Excuse us, tattoo is 3.
Come on, baby, man. All right.
You need the microphone.
My number is 9. Mia plays drums, piano, bamboo flute, and onion. Number 10, Coon. At night in village, old people tell stories to the children around the fireside.
Give it up for them one.